Okay. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. I'm getting a lot of anxiety. I'm hearing a lot of anxiety. I'm hearing a lot of anxiety. Okay. Oh yeah. Dude. I'm trying to talk to these people right now. All we need 5,000 cool people. Okay, testing, 1, 2, testing, 53, 54. Testing, 1, 2. Alright, this is going to be the first post for the website. I have to learn how to think while I'm talking. Learn how to think as soon as I have an idea. Just might not be possible. You can only say out loud the good ideas. Speaking itself is a form of editing. Great art is to edit. Ideas are the source of everything. And every time you translate an idea, you have to edit. The translation from pure thought into speech is an edit. And this is just because of the nature of systems. Something to do with their complexity, maybe. There are sources of ideas from which our ideas come. No one knows where ideas come from. So there's probably other editing processes taking place before our ideas even get to us. This also will coincide with the concept of truth, identity, and reality perception, whatever you want to call it. Your framework of reality right now is a lattice of systems, a hierarchy of systems of thought. From your pure thought coming out into your brain, to then what you speak, what you do, every expression of that thought. Your actions is another editing process for your thoughts. Because your thoughts will come in, but then you'll say a certain thing, but will you act a certain way? You might talk a lot, or there might be no way that you know how to translate those thoughts into actions, no matter what you say. Some people know this about themselves. Some people don't know that about themselves. They really think that they know how to translate their actions, their thoughts into actions. But look at their life, do they? Look at their life and look at what they say they think, have they shown that they actually know how to do what they think as well? I can say what I think. Most anyone can say what they think. And some of us don't say what we think. And we say what we don't think. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that strange? Be careful how people translate their thoughts. And I guess that's really the only question. What are people's thoughts? What are people thinking? We all know what we're doing. We can all hear what we're saying. But what are people thinking? This world is cursed by bad ideas. Those are bad thoughts. Not bad people. People are just the instrument, the vehicle. This isn't hippie shit. Just stop. Right now, just any moment, you just stop. And what are you doing? What is happening? Well, you say you're alive. You're living. Unless you're dead. You're doing something and it's called life. No matter, even if you stop and you're not doing anything, you're lifing. You're living. What's going on? You're fucking thinking. That's what life is. Life is just a series of thoughts until you die. A series of ideas coming through your body. You're the instrument. You're the fucking antenna. And now I have my thoughts in your head. And if I meet you, you can put your thoughts in my head. And if you become an artist or a speaker or someone who's powerful or important or become my lover, you can put your thoughts in my head. And we can affect each other's antennas and instruments. I don't know where I'm going with this. I was just trying to say that we are receptors for thoughts. So we look at this world. The only reason I'm talking to you right now, the only reason we're having this discussion, because we live together in this world. And we gotta improve it. It's degrading. I was ignoring it for the first 35 years of my life. I didn't really care. I did care as much as I wanted to know what's going on. And I would read and I would work and pay enough attention to know what's going on. But mostly I was concerned with my own development. And not financially, but just whatever it is that I was born, I wanted to develop. And I think I've made some progress there. But I'm starting to realize that now this world in which I'm cradled, my home, has degraded. This is these problems we see around us are symptoms of a larger degradation. We just we need to start wiping our own ass and doing the simple things. That's all. It's just once you start developing a life and a pattern of living that you feel is healthy and comfortable, then you can notice when other things are not of that pattern, because there's only one pattern. You grow a garden the same way you grow a man, the same way you grow a society, the same way you grow a relationship, the same way you grow a fire. Everything's not perfect, but there are like similar patterns along healthy ecosystems. And as a society, we are an ecosystem, and there are some unhealthy aspects to that ecosystem. So we are going to improve that. We are going to improve that by looking for new, better ideas. Now, some would argue that we already have those better ideas and we just lack the implementation. Well, then we need an idea about implementation. Everything's an idea. We don't have all the good ideas. We obviously don't have enough good ideas in order to improve this world, or to outpace the destruction. So, now, what have I said? I said that we are receivers and instruments for thoughts, ideas, which then manifest themselves by being translated into words and actions. That encompasses the concept of what you think is what you say is what you do as a path. If you find the right path, the right answer, the right direction, it should encompass all others. And any that is exclusionary pretty much stops itself on the path to truth, I would say. And that's why you're pretty sure that if you're ever in a quest to try to figure out, discover truth, your own personal truth, philosophy or whatever branch of science you're in, hard science, you know, any abstraction, whatever wisdom tradition, whatever tradition of wisdom, even a lover, and you just want to have sex with as many women as you can, or you're a woman, you just want to have a family, but your truth is motherhood, and that's your wisdom tradition. I define a wisdom tradition as any tradition that has or any culture that has a tradition of truth seeking in whatever form. And you'll find that solid cultures, and I call culture loosely, like anything a group of people consistently do with a consistent behavior. Like, I think a man can learn of the culture of motherhood. Physically, we'd be insufficient, but there's some women who are physically insufficient who also you would not call them mothers. But then people might say, well, it's ingrained in the biology, and maybe it is, but that's a prerequisite of truth, isn't it? That it should be accessible to all. It seems like truth should never be exclusionary. What you find is true should be what I find is true. So that's the primary definition of truth, I would say. And that's a tough thing. What we're doing is trying to talk to a lot of people. So where do you start a discussion with a lot of people where you don't want to exclude anyone unnecessarily? And it's impossible to be perfect, but you want to make an effort. So what you do is you start as broad and wide as possible. If I'm going to say something to you, you're going to define it whether it's true or not, according to your own values. Before I say what I'm going to say to you, let me first just mention what I believe a concept of truth is, that we then can hold each other accountable to later on. And that's an interesting thing about relationships. You can't enter into a relationship without agreed principles. And I'm sure like in law and debating and shit, they figure this out too. But you need a set of assumptions. You can be corny and you can just state that, or you can start a preliminary conversation before the real conversation, just to get a feel of each other. Yeah, any grown-up has experienced this. Whenever you either negotiate or even you're making friends, there's a little conversation, there's a little feeling each other out, and then sometimes you dive into the deep end. Okay. What was that? This is good. This is working. Alright, so what principles have we discussed? We've discussed the principle that you're in antenna. You're transmitting ideas. What's really great here, what I just did right now, is I've created a way to capture my ideas, because I'm a little worried that when I write them down, that's a physical act. When I'm talking, that's a speaking act. Those are different. Speaking obviously is faster than physical acts, so no matter how fast you can type. I don't know, I can get pretty close when I type, but still, and sometimes that slower translation allows for a different type of interpretation, which is the difference between writing down your thoughts and speaking them. But speaking, if you can catch the wave, you can pretty much, as ideas are coming, you can say them. That's not true either, though, because if you really allow your brain to wander when you're not talking, it could just go places. You can imagine things, imagine the beginnings and ends of stories at the same time, you know. And that's what being human is the glance of a girl on the street and you imagine the whole relationship right there. And you kind of feel it. You get a little bit of like probably dopamine release or something, and you see, that's where like you can see the future. And then you can follow that future, and there's an idea, there's your mind. So that's not, these ideas aren't just ideas. Your mind in that little glance on the street gave you a taste of a whole relationship. And I know because I've pursued those, and that could have been the relationship where just recently I glanced at a girl, at her ass even, before I even see her face, and that would be fun. And then you meet her, start talking to her, do the number thing, hang out, in a couple weeks, and then like that's a whole summer right there. That's a relationship, and it was fun, and it was also a lot of other things though. And when you glanced and you saw that fun, that's what I realized your brain does, is it gives you an idea, that's all. But a very powerful idea out of context, without being fully fleshed out, is a strong thing. And I say that because this relationship, she's an awesome person. It's a person I could fall in love with. I've actually already even told her I loved her, but I love life. I love a lot of things. I don't think that's the best thing for us. It's interesting. You could go in so many different directions so quickly if you just followed your impulse like that. Would that be true to yourself? And maybe yourself is just whatever you're currently creating. But I am still learning from that, and I suspect that might be what society is learning from as well, and what the powerful men, because with the amount of work and introspection I put in my life, and starting to look at what things I'm addressing, starting to wonder if other people address certain things themselves. And if you look at the patterns of our society, we're suffering from the patterns of a person who is not in control of themselves. Our society has an obesity problem, a thrift problem. We call it a poverty problem, and there is a poverty problem, and there needs to be more jobs and more opportunities. But there's a problem with thrift. We buy a bunch of stupid shit. A lot of the poor people I know aren't just poor, but they're fucking terrible with their money. And I understand you're probably feeding your dopamine. You buy shit because you're lonely and you're sad, and not on a conscious level maybe, but I'll only talk about me and my folks, so that way I don't offend anyone. But my folks buy too much stupid shit, and I think it's because they live in a city where there's not much to do and their kids aren't around. Alright, so what are we talking about? You're a conduit for ideas. Your ideas come out. They're translated by action or by speaking. So this world, if we're going to improve it, needs better ideas that we will then translate by speaking them or doing them or writing them. And even if we have the good ideas around and we just need implementation's an idea. So it includes the process as well as the outcome. All of these seem to be very important points. And then, let's see, oh yeah, and then just like thinking is different when you think or when you speak your thoughts, or when you write your thoughts, or when you act your thoughts. Just be aware of that. Now, can I combine all this with that with 6 colors? Let's see, well, your thoughts could be the green, the thoughts could be the first one. And then what else? Oh no. That's too complicated. Is that enough for now? How am I going to run for president? Hello, my name is Shazz. I'm running for president. I'm not, technically. Not until I file. I would like to possibly explore the opportunity to present myself as someone who may or may not be interested in doing the thing which is required the candidate to do if he were to have an inclination, if he's so pleased to be so inclined to decide that he should run for that office of the land, highest of which so many sociopaths, and I'm sure 1 or 2 good people, possibly ran, and which is currently being tarnished, that being the presidency of the United States, of this humble land, known currently as America, previously as home to many other languages, many other wisdom traditions. Yeah, I'm not so sure. All we need to do is find 5,000 people who are chill. How does the first task?